We begin today with a necessary truth. The great chaotic events that define our shared reality are not a product of accident, nor are they a product of simple surface level politics. They are, in fact, the product of an ancient and hidden science. We must understand that what we are witnessing on the world stage is a form of ritual dark magic, architected with devastating psychological precision. Its purpose is twofold: to harvest the raw material of your emotional energy and to manufacture your consent for agendas you would never otherwise accept. So today we move beyond the simplistic and distracting frame of left versus right. We are here to deconstruct the operational science behind the spectacle. We will examine the architecture of the false flag as a ritual wound and the psyop, or psychological operation, as a hypnotic incantation or spell. We will explore how they are built, why they are used, and most importantly, how you, by understanding their fundamental design, can achieve a state of sovereign immunity to their magic. This information is not here to frighten you or to create fear. This knowledge is here to give you the clarity every builder needs, to give you the map of how psyops and false flags work. To dissect this process, we must first master its language, for words themselves are part of the spell. If we use their terminology, we remain trapped within their frame. So when we use words, we have to be super conscious and aware of what those words mean, the energy they carry, and how we're using them. So let us be precise. The false flag is the first component of this. It is not merely just a lie or a deception. It is quite literally a ritual wound, a form of blood sacrifice performed on the psyche of the collective. It is always a violent, whether it's staged or someone died or someone didn't, whatever, it's always portrayed as a violent, shocking, and emotionally charged event. A bombing, a shooting, a sudden collapse that is deliberately blamed on a designated enemy. Its sole purpose is to pierce the armor of the collective mind to create a state of trauma and confusion so profound that a new narrative, a new spell, can be inserted into the vulnerable wound, the open wound. The scale of the event is irrelevant. The spectacle and its symbolic power are everything. Then comes the psyop, the psychological operation. This is the incantation that follows the sacrifice. Where the false flag creates the psychic wound, the psyop rushes in to define it. It floods the entire information space with a single coherent story delivered by a chorus of experts and amplified by a looping cyclical reel of powerful imagery. Always. Slogans like "War on Terror" or "Stay Home, Save Lives" are not just phrases. They are hypnotic chants designed to embed a program directly into your nervous system. The union of these two, the psyop and the false flag, is an act of ancient magic, ancient dark magic. The sacrifice unleashes a torrent of raw, chaotic emotional power. The incantation or spell shapes that power and directs it toward a predetermined goal. The false flag cracks the psyche open. The psyop pours the programming in. You must see that every major crisis you have lived through was not a random series of events. It was a spell cast with surgical precision. This ritual is not improvised. It follows a predictable 5-stage alchemical formula. Once you internalize this blueprint, you will see it repeated endlessly. The first stage is charging the sigil. This is the preceding of the narrative. Weeks, months, even years before the main event, the collective unconscious is charged with the imagery of what is to come. You see it in movies, on album covers, in TV shows, in think tank white papers that outline hypothetical scenarios, and in government drills that rehearse the exact event. This is not a coincidence. This is the law of revealed consent. Under unspoken rules of this reality, natural law, they must show their hand. Your passive consumption of their fictional programming is taken as your unconscious agreement to the magic they are about to perform. The second stage is the blood sacrifice. This is the event itself, the traumatic wound. As we've discussed, its timing is never accidental. It's aligned with cosmic calendars, with numerological signatures like 9/11, 3/22, and with anniversaries of past traumas to create the maximum possible energetic impact. The third stage is the incantation. Within minutes of the event, the unified chant begins, broadcast across all channels, like what's been happening recently. It is a storm of hypnotic, repetitive slogans designed to harden the narrative into an unquestionable truth before your critical mind has a chance to recover from the initial shock. This is not reporting. This is not giving you the news. This is spellcraft. The fourth stage is the controlled burn. Dissent and questioning are inevitable, so they must be controlled. Fake or poison theories are seeded into the discourse almost immediately. These theories are designed to be easily debunked, and in doing so, they discredit all legitimate inquiry. It is the act of seeding a field with weeds so the entire harvest can be declared contaminated and burned. The fifth and final stage is the harvest. The solution appears, always pre written. Problem, reaction, solution. The Patriot Act, the bank bailouts, the emergency powers. The crisis was never the point. The pre-planned response always was. So, we have laid bare the architecture of their ritual. Observation is the first step, but observation alone is a defensive posture. Now we move to dominion. We now architect your sovereign immunity. This is not a mere reaction. It is a new state of being built on four foundational principles. So the first pillar is the discipline of the sacred pause. When the next shockwave hits the collective, which it inevitably will, you do not react. You do not engage. This is so important. You go silent. You grant your own nervous system a 24-hour quarantine from the broadcast. This is an act of supreme energetic hygiene. It allows the initial chaotic emotional wave to pass without taking you with it because it wants to, and creates the clean space required for clear perception. The second pillar is the practice of pattern recognition. After your 24-hour pause, at least, you do not ask, is this story true? That is their trap. You ask, does this event fit the 5-step ritual pattern? You become a neutral architect, diagnosing the blueprint of the event, not a panicked participant caught in its drama. Once you can name the ritual, its spell over you is broken. The third pillar is the withdrawal of energetic consent. This is the mastery over your inner world. You recognize that your outrage, your fear, and your grief are the energetic currency that powers their machine, that creates their world. You consciously refuse to donate your life force. You do not engage in the comment wars. You do not doom scroll. You perform the great work of emotional alchemy, metabolizing any triggered emotions internally without projecting them into the grid. And the fourth and final pillar is the construction of the parallel. This is the offensive aspect. A sovereign being does not simply build walls. They build a new world. You take the immense energy you have reclaimed from their theater and you invest it in your own life. You build your sovereign health, your sovereign skills, your sovereign wealth, your sovereign community. You build a reality so robust, so free, so true, so real, that their world of shadows simply ceases to be of relevance to you. It's no longer relevant. You're not affected by it. And yes, this is possible. This is 100,000% possible. All right, we must understand one final critical truth about the architects of control, the system itself. They are not true creators. They are parasites. A reality built on a purely negative frequency would collapse under its own weight. Therefore, they need your creative life force to build their world for them. The Psyop is the blueprint they hand to the builders, and you have been the builder. That is why your reaction is the only thing they truly require. Withdraw your reaction and you starve their machine. Reclaim that energy and you have the fuel to build your own world. The prison is not built by them alone. It is co-created every time we agree to play their game. The most radical, the most powerful act of spiritual warfare is to simply put down the stone they handed you, turn your back on their grotesque theater, and walk away. Opt out of their outrage and into your own sovereignty. Because the future will not be built by those who rage at the ritual. It will be built by those who refuse to kneel before it. The work begins now. Thank you for being here. If this knowledge speaks to you, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more. For those of you ready to create as much freedom as possible in your life, click the link below and join our free community, Sovereign Signal. Once inside, introduce yourself and then head to the classroom tab. Start the course Void Walking. It's designed to help you take full command of your mind and therefore your reality. And for those of you ready to go all the way, I offer one-on-one mentorship and I have 2 slots open currently. You'll also find that link in the description below and my homepage on YouTube. Thanks again, y'all. I appreciate you and I will see you in the next video. Peace.